And I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to answer yes or no to yourself. But somewhere in these questions or close to these questions is why you're here. And if you can keep connected to why you're here, and more importantly, understand why your people are in this business, what'll happen is that you'll find a stride in this business that'll take you through those barriers. So, are you living in the house in the neighborhood of your dreams? In other words, if money was no object whatsoever, where you're going to go back home to, is that where you would want to live? What about your kids' education or your grandkids' education? Is that taken care of to the point that they can go to any university they want to throughout the world and money's no object whatsoever? You know, my 18-year-old son's a herpetologist, or a herpetologist wannabe, but he actually knows an awful lot about it, and he's really into snakes and reptiles. He wants to get into the breeding business, and some of the finest schools for herpetology are in Australia. And so he talked to me a year or so ago about going to school in Australia. And it's right when Ambit was getting started, and, I said, you know what, Reed, that's not going to be an issue. I want you to go get the best education to be the best that you can be, and that's because I understood what we had hold of at that moment in time. Do you know how good a feeling that is to know that my 3 sons can go to any university? I can pay cash for it. I don't care how much they charge to get the type of education that they want. So is that happening for you in your life and your grandchildren? I want you to think about this one. If you were to be disabled and not able to talk or walk, or heaven forbid, just totally disabled, where you could earn 0 income in what you're doing today for the next 6 months, could you continue to have the lifestyle that you have today? What impact would that have on your family? Now, it's pretty scary for most of the people in this room, because there's been times in my life where it was scary. That was a scary thought for me. What about retirement? Can you retire to the point where when that grandbaby is born on the other side of the country and there are complications and you got to take the next flight out, and the only seat on that flight's a first class seat that's going to cost you $2,000? Are you going to worry about having to pay $2,000, or are you going to have to wait a couple of days to get the discounted fare to take 14 stops to get from one coast to the other and pay $450? So is your retirement taken care of to the point where money's not going to be an object? What about the vehicle that you're driving? Are you driving the vehicle of your dreams? If you could drive any vehicle that you want to drive, is it what you're driving right now? Well, I promise you it wasn't that little broken down puttering thing that Chris used to own, that he doesn't own anymore as of 2 days ago. And I imagine that he's going to continue to work hard, and he's going to stand up here on stage next year and talk to you about the brand new car that he bought that make the Corvette look like nothing. You see, folks, the reason that you're here is that you are connected to those whys that you're here. And what this business is about is simply about taking those no's and turning them into yeses.